Man, you're not doing anything wrong.
Well, I'll tell you, if this happened in Natchitoches, Louisiana, I'd be heading to jail right now. Because they'd demand my ID, and then if I didn't give it fast enough to them, I'd be on my way to jail. Yeah. So I've been down in that region.
Yeah, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
You're just hanging out at the park, man. So.
Yeah, I've had Iowa's pretty fair for privacy, but there's other places that are not so fair. There's people in your position who demand ID, and then start threatening with arrest. And you're not doing that, so I mean.
So the only thing I ask, you can hang out all day, whatever, but as long as the curfew
until 6.
If it happened to Louisiana, I'd already be in jail. In this real heart encounter recorded in Janesville City Park, Iowa, civilian Travis Heinze is approached by a police officer for allegedly camping in a public space. Travis, a longtime nomad documenting his journey on YouTube, calmly discusses his rights while pointing out how in Natchitoches, Louisiana, refusing to show ID has previously led to his arrest, jail time, and a $20,000 0 legal battle. The officer here does not escalate, but the contrast raises a chilling question. Are your rights protected, or do they disappear depending on where you park your car? You're watching Mr. Right Refusal, where we explore real encounters that test the limits of civil rights in America. Full credit to Travis Heinze for this original footage. Go support his channel and follow his journey.
Sir.
I just had somebody come up and said that somebody was camping down the park. Just had me come check it out.
Yeah, I covered up the windows.
Okay.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'll just come down and see what's up.
I mean, that's why I do it, because I don't see anything wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just see what's going on.
And I match the description.
I don't match the description of anything. Somebody said there's somebody down here.
You made it sound like they just stopped at the police station, or did they call you?
Nope, somebody just drove by and said somebody's down here.
Oh, they pulled in? Okay. Yep. Yeah.
See what was up, man.
I'm a little out of place, I guess.
Nope.
Right? So it's not too many people that look like this come here. It's unusual appearance.
Just out camping and doing one of those.
Well, no, I don't think it's legal to camp here, right? I'm getting a close up of that GA. I don't even know what that is. Like you got a personal light.
Yep, it's just the light right here. I can turn it on and.
Oh, it's for seeing forward. It's not. Yeah, it's not. You don't even have overhead lights in your car.
They're in the car. They're up on the windshield. So.
Oh, in the windshield? Yep. Oh, okay, not on the very top. Okay. Yeah, I mean, was there specific? They just said camping. Was there anything else, or?
Oh, just come down to check.
So I mean, you do have like those pits you could cook things on, and
nope, you can be here.
Picnic tables
and stop to check.
I will say that you don't have bathrooms.
There was a porta potty.
Oh, there is.
Yep,
oh, but maybe on the others. Maybe on the others.
Might have took it away.
Okay. Maybe a seasonal thing.
Yep.
It's cold enough.
Yep, it's getting cold.
But porta potties, you could have those up year round anyway. Yep. So.
All right, man.
Travis Heinze is approached by an unnamed Janesville police officer while legally parked in a public space. The officer offers no lawful basis, no reasonable suspicion, or calling properties claims he's just checking because Travis looks out of place. Heinze challenges the vague justification. Covering windows is not illegal, nor is sitting in a public area. Under the Fourth Amendment, police cannot detain or question citizens without articulable suspicion of a specific crime. No traffic stop occurred, no crime scene exists, and the officer admits no law was broken. This interaction, while peaceful, shows how pretextual stops often begin under color of law but lack legal foundation.
Here I come check on you, so.
Well, okay. Yeah, I plan on being here for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I mean, maybe check out the library or something.
Sounds good. It's a nice library.
But
so.
Is it? Okay. It looked like a garage from the outside.
Yeah, we're just a small little town, so it's not a huge library. So.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on just kind of, relaxing, but you probably have a curfew here.
Yep, at 10 o'clock everything shuts
down.
Yeah,
because I saw actually a sign, unlike there's something city, another city has like it's no curfew park or something like that, but that was on more the outskirts of the city.
So I do know it probably around 10 o'clock you probably won't be able to camp here.
You won't, I mean, there's some that they have no curfew parks, Man, we could use more of those, but but then you'd have designated camping areas like RV parks for that anyway.
Yep.
And I mean, I would look for something like that. There's a Walmart up north of here.
Yep, in Waverly they have a nice Walmart. So.
Yeah, I mean this is just somewhere to stop. And I see it has a little bit of history. You might, well, do you remember when people used to be able to drive across
the bridge?
Did you grow up here? Or?
I did not grow up here. It's actually
Okay.
right now just a pedestrian bridge. I think it's fairly new.
And I read that sign, the Exco or whatever. It's the picture shows that it used. Okay, yeah. They used to be able to drive across it.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it's a road, and then it just turns into pedestrians straight across.
I think right now they can have golf carts drive across it every once in a while, but they have to have handicap stickers.
You look for a specific paperwork permission.
They got to have people that are unable to really walk to be able to drive across it. So.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this park is unique, and that's what attracted me to it. It's just seeing that. I thought maybe seeing from the Google Maps that I could maybe drive across it, but yeah, you got to look at it on the grounds.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique bridge. So.
Yeah, to see that it's at the end of the road and it turns into a pedestrian instead.
Yeah.
I mean, cities go through weird formations. And I'm sure Janesville is no different.
Yeah, I don't know where you're headed, but there's a nice bike path.
I'm going south.
Oh, okay, so that'd be
Headed south, Waterloo.
Oh, okay.
I want to check out Waterloo.
Yeah, Waterloo's a pretty nice.
You know any interesting areas that are scenic?
Waterloo, not really. They got a Sullivan Brothers Museum. I really enjoy that.
Sullivan, how much did you pay? Did you pay money?
That was years ago when I went there for school. But I'm a big history guy.
Yeah,
so
I stop at the free museums.
Okay.
I tend not to pay.
Yep.
I tend not to look at the paid ones, but I've been stopping at the free museums quite a bit, and I mean,
off the top of my head, I just don't know really anything super interesting around
well,
here. I mean,
I'll be looking anyway.
I like doing like fossil parks and stuff too every once in a while. There's nothing really around here other than like Rockford, Iowa. They have a nice fossil park, but that's more.
Yeah, there's you have to pay for those fossil parks, so I've been avoiding them.
That one in Rockford's free.
There's a free one in Rockford?
Yep. That one's really. There's only you find little stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
It's really.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I walked through the Badlands in like North Dakota area, or Teddy Roosevelt designated national forest area. I think I stumbled around the petrified trees. Tree stumps they're a weird formation, how they break apart. And
I've never really been out that way. The only place I ever go is really down south. But
yeah, you kind of have to be not attached to anything to be able to just freely roam. Yep. I've been doing that.
I mean, honestly, it looks like fun.
And I'm kind of advertising Daily Roamer on YouTube, but I'm not really.
It looks like a blast. I mean, I've seen another person do this before.
Yeah,
it looks like a lot of fun.
These people will get out and just record their adventures and recording different places. Yeah, I've been doing that for 10 years now, and I mean it only took till about COVID where I started really looking at parks more seriously, hanging out, because this library was probably closed during COVID. All libraries were closed.
I think they're open now. It's not a huge library, but it's interesting. Other than that, we really don't have a lot of stuff around here other than Quick Star.
Okay.
I mean, we have this park.
That's perfect. I don't want anything exciting.
Yep. I mean, we have this park and then that little one across the river there, and we have a couple of super small ones.
Yeah, I prefer that. The ones that try to attract people cost money. They get to that point where they can start charging money.
That's not what people should look for. I mean,
it's a big factor.
Yeah.
You look on the Pacific Coast. They'll even have signs saying no RVs are allowed to park on the side of certain roads next to the ocean area, because it's just that when the attraction is strong enough, they start putting greater enforcement. In Seaside, Oregon, there's a $700 fine if you're caught sleeping in your car even during the daytime. I was given a warning about that, and I made sure to record it.
Yep.
What
is this called, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what do they call camp? Like they call it something. 'Cause I was watching a YouTube video or
people
like
who travel around and record, or is it something with cops?
No, I mean like the camping in the vehicle. Like,
well, there's stuff
the term for it.
There's the people who have more like RVs who can afford boondocking.
Yep.
But I can't. I would call this car camping in a way.
Car camping.
But I'm not car camping. Yeah, here.
I get you.
During the daytime, I'm just hanging out. But I've had cops called on me just hanging out during the daytime.
No, you're not doing anything wrong. I just figured I'd come check out, see what's going on.
It's the complainer that you want to appease. You have this person who now has a complaint that you feel it's your diligence, your due diligence to follow through and investigate and you're not being too intrusive. I appreciate it. You're not demanding.
There's nothing I need from you.
Despite no signs of illegal activity, the officer continues to engage Travis Heinze in casual conversation about park rules, curfews, and public behavior. While seemingly polite, this type of prolonged interaction without suspicion risks crossing into a consensual encounter that can blur legal boundaries. Under the Fourth Amendment, citizens are free to remain silent and leave unless officially detained. Discussing 10 p.m. curfews without clarity or enforcement basis reflects the double standards common in selective enforcement. No crime was committed, yet the officer implies rules that vary across towns, contributing to legal confusion. Travis remains calm, asserting his right to be in a public space without being unlawfully profiled or questioned.
Man, you're not doing anything wrong.
Well, I'll tell you, if this happened in Natchitoches, Louisiana, I'd be heading to jail right now. Because they would demand my ID, and then if I didn't give it fast enough to them, I'd be on my way to jail. Yeah. So I've been down in that region.
Yeah, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just hanging out at a park, man. So.
Yeah, I've had Iowa's pretty fair for privacy, but there's other places that are not so fair. There's people in your position who demand ID, and then start threatening with arrest. And you're not doing that, so I mean,
the only thing I ask, you can hang out all day, whatever, but as long as the curfew
until 10 to 6.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I look for that. I look for those signs. When there's no sign, then I wonder. I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
I found out what is that city I said that had no curfew? It's something city, Richards, James. I don't know, but the cop showed up, and this is a park that had no curfew, and he come up to my car and started telling me that I can't stay overnight. And then so we had this back and forth of a confusion. I was like, well, what about last night? And he thought I talked to a cop that previous night, and then he told me that it was a no curfew park after that. Yep. It came up and said you can't stay here overnight, and then it turned into it's a no curfew park. There was this change in his opinion or his recollection, and that's interesting. And in your case, it's better just to stay in that fine line rather than take too strong. If you don't know, don't say anything. I forget cities. So it was Waverly. Is the city north of Waverly, something city, Richards City, or.
And it was Charles City.
What'd you say? Charles City. Charlie? Yeah, Charles City. Yeah, it was. There's a no curfew park just on the outskirts, but the cops kind of patrol it like there is a curfew until you kind of call a bluff on them, and then but this particular one, Officer Jenkins. If you ever go up to Charles City, talk to him. He's a younger guy.
Yep.
And I did stay, since I knew it was an overnight thing. I did stay the night there. I was trying to decide Walmart or there, and it's nice to be able to go different places and just listen. I think I heard a goose dying a violent death that night, and then another weird animal call that you just don't normally hear. I can't even begin to describe it. It was like a coyote and a bird together, and it only sounded off a couple of times.
I know Waterloo's got a lot of neat parks. I just don't know any of the names. I just really don't hit that.
Okay, you get out of the city
Not very often, to be completely honest anymore.
Yeah,
I'm kind of a homebody.
Yeah, you may not want to be a homebody so much.
I like going outside and stuff, but I stick around here.
You're not a tree.
Yeah.
You know, getting out and just checking out new places give you a different perspective on life.
Yep.
I like waking up in different places and then wondering where I'm at. Just a few seconds. When I wake up, I'm like, where am I? Because I've been traveling so much. I appreciate that.
Yep.
I was getting sick living in a house for a while. It's like the mold and the chemicals in there. It was the air was weighing me down.
And it's nice getting out of the.
And I keep, you probably can't tell, I keep the windows down in the back here.
Yep.
So I can
get some fresh air.
Yeah, to get a flow of air there. So it's this shade. The shade
you got
is
like a little stove you bring out and stuff.
I do cook. I plan on boiling some eggs. Yeah, I eat eggs every day. So yeah, I do that. Toast some bread. Yeah, boil some eggs. Try to keep a kind of a strict diet for this lifestyle, because it's different, and I take on different movements. I sit too much, and so I'm into exercise and stuff, and I've been using these sticks and doing various stretches to help alleviate the sitting and the weird position I have to get into.
I could imagine it's probably kind of a pain to sleep in or something.
Yeah, it's been like.
If you lay sideways, I mean, it probably
you can't roll. You can like turn in your position, but you can't roll over. It's like, it's so small of a space, but it's possible. I've been doing it 10 years. You don't need a lot of space. But
it's bad you don't have one of those station wagons where you can almost lay a mattress in the back.
A lot of people on YouTube will say, you should get a van and all this stuff. But I take on the perspective, and I kind of recently read it. You should be able to afford 2 vans before getting one. And so I'm trying to build up savings to double that in case I get arrested and I have to fight the court system. Because I'll tell you, I had a problem, and it's still continuing with Louisiana. I paid almost $20,000 now over an arrest for my ID.
Really?
I was found guilty by the city judge, and now it's in the appeal process. And that I fought it myself, and now the appeal process is what costs about the $20,000. Yeah.
Travis Heinze explains how in Natchitoches, Louisiana, simply refusing to provide ID led to his arrest, conviction, and ongoing appeal, costing nearly $20,000, 0 cents in legal fees. Although no crime was committed, police escalated the situation without reasonable suspicion, violating his Fourth Amendment rights. Heinze contrasts this with his peaceful interaction in Iowa, where the officer respects boundaries. This highlights the legal inconsistency between jurisdiction, where citizens can be criminalized for asserting their rights. Under Heinze v. 6th Judicial District Court, states may require ID only if detention is lawful. Travis's story proves how local law enforcement can misuse ID laws, creating a chilling effect on civil liberties and punishing lawful conduct through intimidation and court costs.
I'm out on bond right now.
Really?
$1,500 bond out of Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah, it's 100 days so far since that appeal has been filed with the Third Circuit Court of Appeals in Louisiana. Yeah, it's been 100 days since they've received it, and I don't even know if the judges have been picked out of a hat yet. It's some process. So, my lawyer, I got a lawyer because that's part of the $20,000. He said it could be because of a hurricane might have affected. Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Yep. I'm actually familiar with Lake Charles.
Yeah. Okay. South parts. Yep. That's where the where the appeals court is.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm going through. You've been in Louisiana too.
Yep,
then
I've been to Lake Charles. I've been to around Lake
so
Charles area.
You might you might be familiar with this. It's a part of their resisting arrest law. You are required to reveal your face and tell your name, and that's a part of the resisting arrest law. You don't have that. No other state has that. It's in the resisting arrest. If you don't reveal your face and tell your name, you can be arrested for resisting arrest, and no other state has that built into their law.
Yeah, every state's got different codes.
Yeah.
So it's...
And just recently somebody told me that It's a part of the KKK.
Really?
That's why they built that law so stringently into the resisting arrest, is because you got to lift up the hood and tell your name. I guess in Louisiana, that's
thought different, man.
But that was a stranger who told me that on the YouTubes. It was the judge said that, you know, this is part of the Napoleonic Code that Louisiana's still under.
Make sure to turn that back off.
Your lights? Oh, I didn't even. I would have said something.
I turned it on to show you, but I think I got it.
Yeah, but yeah. There's 15 states that fell under the Napoleonic Code. You know, part of the Louisiana Purchase. But only Louisiana's holding on to this. It's claiming to hold on to this Napoleonic Code still. But I think there's a lot of other factors as to why they've lowered their standards for arresting people, and they've made it harder to defend yourself too. They make it harder to get a free lawyer, and you don't get a jury for a misdemeanor. All other states, you're allowed to ask for a jury trial for a misdemeanor, but not in Louisiana. You can't bounce out of city courts to go to a district courts and then request a jury trial to defend yourself.
Really?
Like if you wanted to arrest me over my ID, I usually have the option to go to the district courts. I'd first have the city court judge would get the first bite of the apple, but they don't get the whole apple in other states. But in Louisiana, the city court judge looks at it like he gets the whole apple, and that's it, you know.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I was sentenced to 30 days in jail. I sat 24 days in jail over my ID. And there's people there that my lawyer found out they were caught in domestic abuse situations. They're domestic abusers, beating on their wives or whatever, and they didn't see any jail time. Yet I get jail time. And
it's funny how that works sometimes, man.
Yeah, they weren't too happy about me broadcasting to the world my arrest, because I had it on camera. You know, I had a couple of cameras, kind of like I have with this. Just I turn on more than one now.
Yep.
Because in the past I've actually had a cop go into my phone and try to delete the video.
Yeah, you can't do that, man.
No, and it was back in 2016, and I had an iPod 5, and the software just changed. Usually when you deleted it, the file was gone, but the software changed within a couple of months, and when you delete it, it'd go to a trash file. And I guess maybe he didn't get that update, so he tried to delete it, and I found that video in the trash file. So I put in the title, "Deputy tries to delete this video," and I got a million views. But that was from 2016, and that was in Idaho, Horseshoe Bend, Idaho, in the northern mountain regions. Yeah, I've had a lot of different encounters. Some where the cops will talk about topics, and I gotta be thinking about more questions for you, because I don't know this area too well.
Yeah,
but
but I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta find something else to do. I think it's about lunchtime, to be honest with you.
Okay, yeah, you just gotta.
So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, around here, I mean, this park, that park.
Nothing. No, I won't be here after 10. You can tell your night shift. Your night shift will look.
Okay.
And I mean.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate you talking to me and being honest and everything. So.
Yeah, I plan on maybe checking out the city and seeing how it looks a little bit. Maybe taking some camera footage if anything looks interesting to me. Usually things that look out of place.
Yep.
I'll record and then just present on YouTube.
Sounds good.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, so. Yeah, you checked me out, and you see everything looks fine, so whatever.
Yep, there's nothing illegal. You can be here, so.
Another statistic, so, you know. I think for these situations, I'll usually I found, you know, I've got well over 100 cop interactions, and it seems like I get arrested about one out of 25 cop interactions, and now you've knocked down the number, so I'm now at 11 more cop stops before my next arrest. Statistically, maybe it'll be prolonged, but there's been some real hard you know, you may have met some of these hard-edged guys that just...
It depends who you talk to. I mean, you get into this profession to help people. I mean, that's really what it's about, man.
But there could be, like, you know, somebody might be jacked up on energy drinks at the time, or just, maybe they had a horrible thing happen beforehand, and then they come to see me about this, and, you know, you could be in a different mood tomorrow. If something could happen. Right now you're calm, you know, we're both calm. It's, you know, it's a nice day, so
beautiful day out. I think we're gonna start getting cooler out.
Yeah, I appreciate when it gets cooler. I'm sweating. This is too warm for me. Well, I was exercising too a little bit before you came up. You kind of interrupted a little.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, man.
I like to do my stick exercises.
Well, my computer keeps dinging at me, so I'm gonna let you
okay,
go.
Yeah, checkups.
All right,
okay.
Well, you have a good day, okay?
All right, yep. Have a good one. Okay, yep.
Travis Heinze's calm approach to ID refusal reflects both experience and legal knowledge. His actions earn a solid grade A, showing lawful behavior under pressure. The Janesville officer, who maintained professionalism and refrained from escalating, deserves a great B+ for respecting boundaries without demanding ID. This video proves that ID refusal is legal when no detention or reasonable suspicion exists. But in other states, like Louisiana, rights can be ignored. Know the law, assert your rights calmly, and document every encounter. For more real-world ID refusal scenarios, subscribe to Mr. Right Refusal and support the original footage on Travis Heinze's channel.